dear friends and students, actually I was invited to deliver a kind of valedictory, and now I come to know that I have to deliver the vote of thanks. Anyway, I take the opportunity of doing both. First, the valedictory. The lecture, the very erudite lecture, delivered by Prof.K.S.Chaudhuri as the second A.K.Gayen Memorial Lecture, reminded me of a great piece of writing by Professor Prashant-Chandra Mohalanabish, which was delivered as a lecture of the first Congress of the statisticians in India at the behest of the Indian Science Congress Association. This lecture was delivered by P.C. Mohalanabish in 1925, and it was published as a whole article named Why Statistics. Why this lecture of Professor Chaudhuri reminded me of Mohalanabish's lecture, I explain it. First of all, if one reads Mohalanabish's paper, Why Statistics, it will be fully intelligible to any non-statistician. That is the beauty of that lecture. In that lecture, Professor Mohalanabish explained that why statistics rose and finally acquired a very prominent position in the history of Indian mathematics and statistics. That article has some relations with what Professor Chaudhuri has tried to elaborate. He exclusively dealt with mathematics, but along with that, there were hints of why Indian mathematicians were holistic thinkers, not looking at numbers alone, but along with numbers, they also viewed human life, say religion, music, and other kinds of things. Yesterday I was reading a very old and important article written by one anthropologist of Calcutta University, Professor Jogendra Mohan Ghosh. The title of the article was Hindu Anthropology. Interestingly, these sort of articles and books kindly recall the famous book written by Acharya Prafulla Chandra Roy, Hindu Chemistry. Now the word Hindu, he also uses the word Hindu mathematics. These words were used not to mention the religion alone. Hindus as a community, as a kind of people who lived in certain places. In fact, the word Hindu means those who lived beyond Sindhu. So this non-religious connotation of the term, and in all these articles, whether Hindu mathematics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu anthropology, or Hindu statistics, the major point of emphasis was showing that how in a very early period the great ideas of mathematics, chemistry, biology, and all these things arose in this subcontinent. That is important not only for the mathematicians but also for historians and also for anthropologists. This is the first observation I make on Professor Prashant Chaudhuri's lecture. So this lecture is not an isolated lecture. It has relationships with the tradition of scholarship in India, which was nurtured by the universities and institutes of research in India. The second part is about Professor Anil Kumar Gayen. So, how I become interested in Professor Anil Kumar Gayen? It was said that I did a lot of research on Anil Kumar Gayen, but that's not true. Don't take it seriously. I, as one of the oldest members of this university, was intrigued by an article written by the first Vice Chancellor of Vidyasagar University, Professor Bhupesh Chandra Mukherjee. His article was published in 1986 in a journal of UGC, the Journal of Higher Education. I read that article, and in that article there is a paragraph where Professor Mukherjee mentioned that the founder of this university was a mathematics statistics professor, Professor Anil Kumar Gayen of Kharagpur IIT. That line struck me. I asked Professor Mukherjee that is there any photo of Professor Anil Kumar Gayen. He said, no, there was no photo, but I am trying to bring one. So then, with the help of the then Inspector of Colleges, Professor Santosh Kumar Ghoroi, who was a physicist, he somehow procured a photograph of Professor Anil Kumar Gayen, and that photo is available in our website, and also you will find that photo in the old administrative building by the side of the Vice Chancellor's room. Interestingly, I recently was inquiring that whether any person knows who the man was. I randomly interviewed many persons, students, teachers, etc., and most of them said that they don't know who is this man was. Probably one Vice Chancellor or something like this, because the photos are in line with the Vice Chancellors. And somebody also reported me that he might be the first Vice Chancellor of Vidyasagar University. So this is quite interesting. Yesterday I asked my students in the second semester class, many of whom have come here, and I am happy that, do you know the name of Professor Anil Kumar Gayen? So only 2 students said that they know. One student said that in the library building we found that there is a name, Anil Kumar Gayen, so that's how I know. And another student said that, well, I have heard his name, that Anil Kumar Gayen was our founder. This is interesting. We have been trying to propagate the name of our founder within our university, and I was surprised to find the kind of in-depth, informative lecture, the first part of the lecture, the Anil Gayen, about Anil Gayen, what Professor K.Chaudhuri said, and how meticulously he collected data on Professor Anil Gayen and his academic activities. So this is interesting. Let me now digress a little. And few years back, I conducted one interesting survey at Vidyasagar University, and I also wrote about this in the Journal of Biological Sciences. The survey was random. I asked many people that, have you heard the name of a person named Michael Crichton? So 99% of my respondents, including teachers, said no. My next question in the survey was, have you heard the name of the book or film named Jurassic Park? 100% said that yes, we know the name. Interestingly, Jurassic Park was written by Michael Crichton. This is the result of my survey. I wrote about this in the Biological Science Journal while reviewing Michael Crichton's posthumous book, Next. So this is interesting. So in the same fashion, if you ask any person at Vidyasagar University that, do you know Anil Kumar Gayen? Many people would say no. But if you ask that, have you seen that handsome man's photo in the Vice Chancellor's lobby, probably everyone would agree that yes, I have seen it, but nobody knows that who the man was. This is how human society operates, and this is why Anil Kumar Gayen was also interested in bringing anthropology as one of the subjects of the first 6 subjects at Vidyasagar University. So anthropology, applied mathematics, commerce, library science, political science, and economics was his choice of subjects. And you see, people think one thing and ultimately another kinds of thing happens. That is what happens in history. Anil Kumar Gayen never had a plan to build up a university what we have built today. This is interesting. History says so. Anil Kumar Gayen's original plan was to build up a non-traditional university and never an affiliating university like this, having more than 100 colleges under its affiliation. His plan was, what was in his master plan, was to build up a non-conventional university with a few subjects which would be doing research for the development of the underprivileged section of people here in this district, in liaison with a medical college at Midnapur and Kharagpur IIT. So he thought of a kind of triangle in which Vidyasagar University, a medical college, and Kharagpur IIT will collaborate in kinds of researches. He had no plan to induct a number of undergraduate colleges under our affiliation. His vision was something like, might be like Jadavpur University or something like that. That it would be a non-affiliating kind of non-traditional university where people would be doing research for the betterment of the underprivileged sections of the society. That was his vision. But gradually you see how history has changed his vision. In any case, we have to pay homage to the great thinker, and I believe that Anil Kumar Gayen stood for a reason. And he stood alone like a tree. He fell on the ground, his untimely death, but he fell like a seed. And that seeds grew to fight back again. Thank you.
So, we are pretty close to much of end of the session, and we extremely thankful that our chairman and Professor A.K.Gayen explained detail regarding Anil Gayen, and pay our humble regards to our speaker, Professor K.S.Chaudhuri, for his excellent deliberation regarding Anil Kumar Gayen. So, with this few words, I again pay my humble regards to Anil Kumar Gayen and to the chair and our honorable speaker. Sir, thank you, sir.
One more point, Subhrata, just after the end of the meeting, I have brought this for your committee. You search web and you find there is a mathematics genealogy project launched by the American Mathematical Society. And in that web, you find the details of Anil Gayen's students.
Okay.
So I have brought this for you. I think Guru Prashanna Bhattacharya's name is first.
Okay.
So these kinds of mathematics. Yes.
So,
I think you keep this, and we can find out the persons who were Anil Kumar Gayen's. Maybe many of them are not living now. So, but they have their students too, because you see, Anil Kumar Gayen belonged to the genealogy of Carl Pearson, Henry Ellis, and then Anil Kumar Gayen. So, a man.
So the pedigree.
Yes.
So the pedigree.
Just imagine a man got a PhD within 3 years from Cambridge, and on the year he was awarded the PhD, he was awarded with 2 fellowships, the Cambridge Philosophical Society's fellowship and the Royal Statistical Society's fellowship. My colleague, Professor Kaushik Ghosh, who is a Cambridge PhD, when I given him this Anil Kumar Gayen's genealogy, he was surprised. He says that those biodata you are showing to me, I am also a Cambridge PhD. There are hundreds of Cambridge PhDs, but how many of them get these 2 fellowships in a single year? And I say further that how many of the Cambridge PhDs have been able to establish a university? That is important, because Cambridge you have 100 Nobel laureates.
So,
but how many of them have established universities?
So we are very much astonished that Professor Guha studied these things in a very deep, in a deep-rooted way, and he narrate everything, the basic points. Professor Anil Kumar